Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome once again to the eastern wing of the Stink Bug Works. This is what it looks like when I'm actually working on a project. My board I had hanging on the wall, and it developed a little bit of a warp. And underneath here is a drafting board, which is dead flat. So I clamped this board down to here and put some weights on that side just to keep it flat. I will not store this hanging in the future. I will store it flat. Anyway, I got a question about why do I waterproof the parts before I glue them together? Wouldn't it be better to glue them together and then just brush, epoxy over everything? Well, the answer to that is yes and no. It depends what you're trying to do. In this case, I'm trying to save weight. I want this thing as light as I can go. And if you look, the glue joints are nice and tight, and there's no extra epoxy anywhere. I went in and I drizzled epoxy along this joint with a toothpick, and the kind of epoxy I use, it just flows everywhere. So it fills this little gap here, and then I come in with a Q-tip and I clean up any that gets on there. So I have just enough epoxy to hold that part on and no more. Now, since this is going to be an interior surface that I will not be able to access, I may come in with a second coat of epoxy and wipe down everything in here, as well as every part that gets glued in would get 2 coats. The interior portions of the hull that I can reach, I'm going to go in and paint a second coat of epoxy and then wipe it down as much as I can. That way, some epoxy will flow additionally into any joints that have gaps or whatever. But again, it will keep it thin. And, the whole secret is you brush it on and you wipe it off to where you can almost not tell you put epoxy on there. Because it only needs to be a couple molecules thick. It doesn't have to be a 1/4 inch thick. Just a couple molecules is all you need to keep that nasty old water out. So there you go, an explanation of what I did and what I will do. So yeah, I am going to come in and everywhere give it a second coat once it's assembled, but it'll be the same thing. I'm going to go in where I can reach it, get in there and wipe it off. And if I can't reach it, I'm going in there with a Q-tip and getting as much of that epoxy off as I possibly can. Because epoxy is like what's in this jar. Lead weight. Yeah, like what's in these batteries. Lead weights. Okay, boys and girls, until next time, jet out.